Hey y'all, what's going on? Happy hump day. We will be discussing on this lovely day the Real Housewives of New York City's season 15, episode 3, Dramamine drama. Okay. Mm, mm. Y'all, actually, before I say that, I need to apologize. I was, just a minute or so late because they were doing the trash pickup and it was super loud. So I do apologize for that. But what I really want to say is that I I am underwhelmed. I'm trying to hang in there. This was episode 3. I really hope that it was gonna pick up, but like I was underwhelmed by this episode. And for that reason, we probably won't even be here for that long because um it's like I just need more for them. I just need more for them right now. And it seems to be like some of the other franchises that are on right now, it seems to be blowing them out the water. And I just want to know how you guys feel about that. I want to know how you guys feel about that because that's all I was thinking the whole time. Is like, dang, I am bored. Hey, Kevin, how are you today? I love to see you in my chat. Yes, Bryn is very irky, very, 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 very irky. But there was so much irkiness, I feel like, through this entire episode that we can't even negate it. Like, anyway, though, before we jump into it, y'all, you already know, like the video, like the video, like the video. Why? Because it helps me in my channel in terms of the algorithm. It helps me attract new subscribers such as yourself. So hit the like button, please, and thank you. And if you are not a current subscriber, why don't you hit the subscription button and stay a while, become a Barb's babe. Why not? And if you are not seeing this live and you're catching on the playback, go on ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. I would love to hear it. We could have a good little back and forth down there. And also share me with all of your folks. Last night episode confirmed I no longer like Jenna. She flat out lied. Get Jenna off RHONY. And I hate that we have to even say that because, like, yeah, no lies were told. No lies were told in that statement. Jenna, we caught you. We caught you red-handed, Miss Mama. And you're gonna have some explaining to do at the reunion, or maybe, hopefully, could someone ask that? Does she be on Twitter? Like, do I need to tweet her? Like, come on now. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out why we're back in the Hamptons too. I didn't really think about it last week because we didn't see them actually arrive there. But I really was thinking, like, are we really just back in the Hamptons in Aaron's house again? Like, this better not be the only trip that we're taking. It better not be, because like, why are we back in the Hamptons? There's so many places to go in the tri-state area that would have been, I would have almost rather them going to Atlantic City, like, or something, like just somewhere better than the Hamptons for a second time around. She is, and I feel like this is something that a lot of us have been seeing, and I feel like it was exemplified even more in this episode. But jumping in, y'all, because I'm not about to be up here all day on this. I can't do it. Can't. Everybody's en route to the Hamptons. Sai and Ubah, we already knew that they were going to drive together. And I thought Sai was supposed to drive Ubah's car, but it wound up being Sai driving her own car. And what I didn't really like about this, and maybe you guys feel the same way or you don't, agree, disagree, it's fine. But my main thing with this whole Ubah like love storyline is that, like, I just feel like, especially based off of last season, we didn't get enough of Ubah herself. I feel like there was a lot of things I feel like we haven't even really, like, what's going on with her and her hot sauce. We find out in this scene that she apparently likes to paint. That's news to us, or just me, maybe. I don't, y'all. I not trying to speak for everybody here, but I feel like a lot of us would have wanted to just learn a lot more about her first, rather than now only every time we see her on our screens, we're talking about Oliver and how she got butterflies and anxiety all at the same time and yada yada yada. Like you I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I get feeling a little anxious about, and it's not even to say that you're second guessing the relationship as much as it's just like kind of, it's new, especially her being, her age, like she's almost, closer to 40 than she is 20 right now. So I get you're used to just being your own, person and moving how with full autonomy. I get that, but I just like don't want to hear about that every single time the camera pans over to her. I just don't. Not feeling Racquel either, especially after the wanting to sit in the front seat of a car ride. Girl, bye. Honestly, though, okay, I have heard of people like that being like a thing where when they get car sick or whatever, but they do better in the front seat. Like, I totally get that. Where I got off the bus with her is the fact that she thought that she was going to drive Sai's car. I feel like Sai, and I hate to jump ahead, with this with y'all, and we'll unpack it more when we get to that point in the episode. But that's just where I got off the bus with her because I was like, huh, like what? Where do we do that at? Anyway, Ubah is an angry bird. Yes, I feel like, and that's kind of what we were seeing on last season's reunion, where she just was like, she just starts spewing all this stuff, and it's just like, we don't even really know, like, what are you talking about exactly? Like, what, huh? Like, I just get really confused by her sometimes when she gets so passionate about certain things. That was supposed to be like the safe word to kind of distract them from the argument, basically, is what I took from it. It was stupid. Um, but yeah, that's all I have to really say about their car ride. Then Brynn, Jessel, and Rebecca arrive at Erin's house. She has food set up, although she is nervous about how it will be received. And we know why, because I think it was Sai mainly had a lot to say last season about the choice of food that Erin had for them and the toilet paper. Remember, she had to bring her own toilet paper. Ugh. Pineapple is to this episode what toilet paper was to last season. Let's just put it that way. Ugh. And then Sai and Ubah, they finally reach the house. Everyone at this point has greeted each other well enough. Doesn't really seem like any animosity. And Sai does approve of the food. So thank God for that. I'm trying to make this review more interesting than I felt the episode was. If you guys haven't catch my drift, I'm really trying. I'm really trying here. So then we find out that Racquel, I think it was Erin brought it up, because Racquel and Jenna at this point are the only two that haven't arrived. And it's revealed that Racquel gets severely car sick to the point that she has to ride in the front seat, just like what we were talking about 2 seconds ago. And Erin tells Ubah and Brynn that Racquel basically told her that they like kind of left her, or like kind of just, didn't really try to help facilitate some way of her getting into the car with them, if that makes sense, I guess. And the way Erin conveyed it was like she didn't come because they said she couldn't ride the front seat or whatever. And Ubah's like, nope, I can't do it. No, ma'am. Like, oh, here we go. Here we go. It's always something with y'all. Sai feels awkward because as it stands, it's looking like her and Ubah are the bad guys, when in all actuality, Racquel, like the way that the messages broke down, because Sai goes and gets her phone, she shows them, it seemed like it was harmless. It seemed like none of that was said in those messages. And it's just kind of odd why Racquel would feel that way then. And you guys already know that wasn't going to be the end the end of that. We were going to hear some more, of course. So they turn to go divvy up the rooms and everything. And a couple of the ladies, I did see them all. I think was Sai the only? Did they all sleep with it like in together, or like? because it was Racquel and Jenna, but then, Brynn always finds her way into like Aaron's bed or somebody's. And then we seen Ubah and Sai in there, even though Sai looked like, I don't know. So they all divide up the rooms. And as Sai is getting this oversized pot out the car, I'm like, oh, what are we making? What are we making? I'm excited. When I see a big ass pot like that, that only means something good can be coming. Like, because people that can't cook usually don't just have big ass pots like that. So I was excited. I'm excited to see what she's gonna whip up in that pot. But as she's getting her pot out the car, who other than Miss Jenna Lyons pulls up in her, her 200K Bentley. And Shy's like, oh, yes, sugar mama, take me for a ride. And I was like, yes, please, please. And buy me a matching one while you're at it. Please. Like, but Jenna's like, girl, you talking about sugar mama. I actually was looking at your car. I actually wanted your car. And freaking but it was back ordered or something for like 2 years or something like that. I'm just like, tell us you got, a hefty disposable income without telling us you have a hefty disposable income, because not us fighting over luxury vehicles. Like, that's cute. I don't mind stuff like that. Y'all know I like to see a little bit of luxury when I watch these housewives. So that's cool. That's cool. But as they go inside, this like odd conversation strikes up between like Brynn and Ubah. They're on the corner talking about like how Ubah's had a tough 3 months. And then they go back to talking about the party, the party that Brynn had that she left, that she just, skedaddled on out of there from. I felt like that was weird. And I don't know if they're just filming these scenes weird on RHONY or what, but I get so confused sometimes with these scenes, because I'm like, or I don't know, maybe it's the ladies themselves. I'm like, what the hell? Like, what are you talking Ubah 3 months? What are we talking about? I just get so confused as to what we're talking about. Like, ugh. Aaron purposely relayed the Racquel car sick situation. She is definitely a pigeon. Yes. Yes, she did. And she did something else in this episode. And I'll highlight it when I come to that part in my notes, that really made me be like, I feel like you're trying to keep it cute this season, because I feel like she was getting whacked over the head a lot last season, but nonetheless, the North remembers. We see each other, me or you, Aaron, and I'm not buying it. Not buying it at all. Yeah, I mean, she has, like, I don't mind her personality per se, but it's just like the fact that you gonna just lie about some stuff. And it's like, you clearly can talk with a lot of sense and you know what's going on, and just keep it 1,000. Like, just keep it 1,000, please. Hey, cousin, y'all go ahead and subscribe to my good cousin, Ranting with Ricardo's channel, please. And thank you. Don't forget to drop your link. I like RHONY. It is just the ladies self-produce themselves, and it is obvious yet annoying. Yes. And this is something I know I've said in my last 2 videos, that they seem like they're very much producing themselves. And I feel like that's something we definitely saw with Aaron. We are definitely seeing with Brynn. And last time I checked, production wasn't hiring, and they didn't need not one more producer. Y'all were brought in as housewives, not producers. Just saying. Just saying. Where were we? Oh, this odd conversation. And then Brynn admits, she talks about, why she left and stuff, and she admits that she does want to make up with Sai, and hopefully Ubah can help facilitate that. And at this same time, Racquel shows up in her Porsche, and so Sai, as soon as she walks in, pretty much Sai immediately asks her, like, so what is this I'm hearing about, you not like why you didn't come with us, and whatnot. And Racquel says because she couldn't sit in the back, she would have gotten sick, and to take Dramamine would have been just like completely wild, pretty much. And Sai's still like, I felt like she was still a little confused, and because she's like, why didn't you say that then? It's like she didn't make that clear, I feel like. And I feel like for once, like I'm siding with Sai over here because it's like, girl, like say what you mean what you say. I'm not a mind reader. Like just lay it out here. Like please lay it out here because we're not understanding what exactly you're trying to get at in these messages. And I'm not about to sit here to look like the bad guy. Like I just purposely left you, or we were being like on some Mean Girls ish or something. Like that's what we're not going to do. And like in the end it was clear that it was like a harmless misunderstanding for the most part, but in her confessional, like because Racquel said, she's like, no, I was talking about like driving your car or something, and in her confessional Sai's like, bitch where bitch you gonna drive my car?
Who had been saying that? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
My car? You want to drive my car? The lady that I just met 2 episodes ago, you want to drive my? I don't even know you like that. Even if I did know you like that, some people are like weird about stuff like that. So it was just kind of weird. Like I get what you tried to do there, and who knows? You probably could have. I mean, you drove up in a Porsche too, so I like to think you could have afforded that car as well. Sure, but that's still just kind of odd that she thought that Sai would be comfortable with her driving her car. And again, it's not like she said that. So I thought that entire thing was stupid AF, y'all. I really did. Um, but then we see Ubah and Brynn, they're still having this conversation about Sai. And just for Sai to then walk over, I think it was her and Ubah, or her and not Ubah, her and Aaron eventually walks over too. And they're like, oh my gosh, why don't you sit right here, Sai, making it all awkward and stuff, like trying to, force them to have this sit down, this one-on-one. And Brynn opens it right up with like this blanket apology, y'all. She gives her a blanket apology, and she's like, well, I don't want to fight with you. I just want to make up. Like, I just want to get along pretty much. And I'm not trying to drag it out. I'm just, I'm sorry. And let it be that. But Sai's like, girl, that's not gonna cut it. Like, I'm gonna need a little bit more from you. I'm gonna need you to come a little bit better from with that. And not only that, but I'm also gonna need you to hear what I have to say, because you just trying to glaze over everything and slap a band-aid on it without truly getting to the root of the problem that's not gonna work for me. And that's not gonna work for us in the long run, just to sweep stuff under the rug only for it to come back out in due time. I feel like that was 100% fair. And I feel like that's exactly what Brynn was trying to do, because she's been looked at for the last couple of episodes as a starter. So that's a starter level of apology, in my opinion. Y'all let me know what you think. I had the same facial expression aside, like, yeah, exactly. I was like, oh my God, like, buy me a drink first, at least. No, just kidding. But like, I felt like that was completely out of bounds. Like, we're not doing that. I felt Brynn was indeed condescending. I would have walked away too. Yes, I would have, even faster than what she did. As soon as she sat down and said that and opened it up from that angle of, yeah, let's just move past this. Let's kiss, hug, and make up. I would have shut it down right there, because that's what we're not going to do. You're not going to make it seem like I'm you're not gonna make it seem like how I feel, like I'm just making it up, pulling it out of my ass, so to speak. That's not what we're doing. So as they're going back and forth, trying to, because Sai said that, she's like, okay, but what about what I have to say? Like, I would like to say my piece too, because at your party, I was furious, and it was mainly fueled by what you told Jenna. So at this point, Jenna's name is brought into it. So she calls Jenna, and she's like, girl, what's up? So Jenna gets pulled into this. And this is what we were talking about before when we said Jenna lied, because the way she explained it at that party was that she said it. She was like, this girl over here or whatever is the one who said it or whatever. And we get the flashback clip of Jenna saying just that. And now Jenna's saying like, no, she didn't say that. Like multiple people said that or whatever. And that's just like, that's not going to work for me. That's not going to, that's not what we're going to do here, because we all heard exactly what you said on camera. Like, come on, like, no, don't. Brynn brushed it off to avoid any accountability, and did. As soon as she called for Jenna, that was her way of removing the spotlight off of herself and putting it onto somebody else and making it seem as though they were the one that was the origin of all of this, and to try to, clean her hands from the situation. That's exactly how I took it. And then when Aaron comes over, I felt like the heat turned up even more. The heat turned up even more, if you ask me. And Brynn is trying to own that she's not trying to own that she spread this remark around the group. She's not. And I feel like I said before, Sai had every reason to feel as though, to feel how she did. I would have felt slighted as well, because you're not going to sit here and play in my face. You're not going to sit here and play in my face and say you didn't say that, and you're not going to sit here and play in my face. And like your actions also have showed us that you're the type of person that has no issue creating this type of mess, Brynn. Like, come on, as we said before, you're producing yourself right now. That's what it's giving. But as they disperse, Brynn, then most of the ladies go back into the kitchen. Brynn is like still trying to not take any accountability. She goes up, trying to be all cute and hugs Sai from behind or whatever. And Sai does finally reciprocate the hug. And it's like, woohoo, like everybody cheers. And it's like, oh my gosh, thank God the whole weekend's not going to be ruined. It's still really early. I wouldn't say that with my full chest, but okay. Aaron gives them all these gift bag skits, I guess you'd say. And it looked like a whole bunch of random, was that like a hair waiver? And I guess there was some type of feminine care product in there, because why did we have to find out that Rebecca shot a Diva cup out of her vagina one time? When she sneezed real hard. Like, I didn't know how that got, like, I was confused by that too. Like, I think they should have zoomed in more on what was in the basket, because I was really confused as to how that tied into the conversation. But it seems like Rebecca, that's going to be her only addition to this show, is to say weird things, be weird, and just kind of be like, she just seems a little weird. I don't know. Jenna is the worst kind of snake, meek and mild in your face, yet a devil in sheep's clothing. And I was really hoping that she would rise to the occasion this season in a way that we wanted her to. And I'm not going to write her off completely just yet, but she really has some explaining to do. She has some explaining to do about that blatant lie. Like, why are you lying? It's not even that serious to be lying about, especially if you say that you don't feel a type of way about it, you and Sai made up, whatever, like, then why lie about it? Anyway, and Jenna also has some gifts for ladies as well. We know last season she was filled with gifts, and she has an extra special gift for Jessel specifically, but she gives them all lingerie, which I like. This lingerie was a lot better than last season's lingerie. And for Jessel, she has this big Bottega bag, and in it though, because I think she said, yeah, last season I gave you a hard time with multiple labels, and so this time around I want to I want to make up for that or whatever. And in doing so, she gifts her a costume like Christmas tree, and it was a Christmas tree because last season when Sai got her when she got her outfit, it was giving Christmas tree in her opinion, and we got the flashback, of course. So haha, he real funny. cute, whatever. But then she also has some real lingerie for her or whatever. And like I said, these pieces were cute. These pieces was cute. Hey, Auntie Bernice, Jenna and Brynn really got on my last nerves. Yeah, it was Brynn. I'm not gonna say Ubah got on my nerves, but I was just like, what, huh? Like, I get you're upset about not wanting to be in the middle of all this mess, but I still was like confused. She took a strange angle, I feel like, to explain herself in that. Aaron was another one. Racquel had some audacity. Honestly, Sai probably is the only person that didn't really do anything for the first time ever to really make me be like, about. I really don't have any complaints about Sai for once. Or Jessel, I guess you'd say. That's interesting. Moving right along, all the ladies get to their rooms, and before we know it, we're off to dinner. Everybody's dressed. And I wish I had a picture. And y'all, I from the East Coast. I get it, and we're talking about New York. I get it. It's a fashion capital. We know this. And so with that being said, I totally understand. Everybody having their own individual personal styles. I get it. But it really did look like everybody was going somewhere different, and I just couldn't understand it. And I really wish I would have got a picture for y'all, but I don't, because I was underwhelmed by this episode. Sorry. It looked like everybody was going somewhere completely different, which is like so weird to me. Brynn is always the one to throw stuff back up in someone's face and then plays victim. I do feel like that we saw a bit of that in this episode, especially. I agree. Sai was most likable this past episode. Yeah, I am shocked. I am so shocked, because if you guys caught any of my videos from last season, Sai could have kicked rocks. I was so over her. I didn't even mind that she bought her own clothing rack. That's how much I just didn't mind her. Like, totally was okay with that, because she wasn't trying to be really in the middle of any mess. And I appreciate that. I do. But they go to a restaurant called Kalisa or something like that. And when they sit down, they all jump on Jessel for her, as Brynn put it, complaining voice. Ha he he, whatever. We learn a bit more about Racquel. She was a model in the 90s. She started off as an art collector, and she used to have a lot of difficulty with galleries selling to her, even if it was artists that were of color. So we got a little history lesson there. I think she talked a little bit about Mel as well, right? Yeah, I think so. And Jenna lets us know she brings a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience, she is somebody to know, basically, is how Jenna put it in her confessional. So then we find out, this is when we get another like strange conversation from Rebecca. Thanks, Brynn. Thanks. Like, Brynn is making it her sole mission to put all of Rebecca's stuff, I feel like, on Front Street. And it's like, ultimately, I get it. Someone's got to do it. It's Housewives. Ooh, yeah, we get it. But it's just like, honestly, Brynn, we don't need that, because every time she opens her mouth, Rebecca, I'm so confused. And yes, Rebecca is boring. Sorry, not sorry. Yes, I seen somebody say that. Ooh, I wish I kept the message, but somebody said that today online. Like, she doesn't, and it, y'all, I'm not a drinker. So don't think I'm saying this and I'm saying that to say like, oh, you're such a wet blanket because you don't drink, or you're so boring because you don't drink. Like, no, you don't have to be a drinker to have fun. But it's like, you don't drink, you don't really want to talk about Scientology stuff. You don't really like, what do you like? She's just kind of just like there. She was trying to orchestrate this fake drama between her and Jenna. And every time you do get 5 minutes to talk, you talking about something weird. Like losing, like, she's from San Diego. Go figure. It can be weird here. Yeah. I've spent most of my 20s in San Diego, and it can be weird. Okay. It can be weird. So maybe that's why. I don't know. But lost her virginity at 16, and it all came down to her parents telling her that if she didn't do drugs, they would get her on birth control, and she was like done. And this is also a deal that she would make with her own daughter. Y'all, I get it. Everybody has the birds and the bees talk, or their variation or whatever with their parents or whatever. I ain't got no kids, so I'm not here to tell anybody how to parent. However, I just feel like as Auntie Bernice said, that was crazy. That you want to lead with that? Like, I do feel like you shouldn't hold things back from you shouldn't try to shelter your kids to the point that they're just out here completely oblivious to things, because I just have always been an advocate for teaching your children things before the world teaches them stuff. Like, you would rather it come from you, because life is going to be the ultimate teacher every time. That is what I know. In my 30 years of living, that is something that I have learned through and through. And in this situation, it's like, you don't hide it from them if they have questions or whatever. And you know, I get, if things happen, they're going to happen. Um, but at the same time, I don't think that you should be like you should be like, I don't want to say motivating or endorsing, but that's kind of what it gave a bit. Like, it was like, yeah, fine, like, yeah, just excuse me. Wild, in my opinion. Super wild. I didn't even look on Twitter to see what people had to say about that, because I know it can't just be us thinking that sounded crazy. RHONY mainly brought on Rebecca because of, yes, and I don't feel like we're gonna get to the bottom of any of that. So it's just like, why is she here? She's not really adding the weird stories and facts about herself. Just saying. Her virgin bed, like, why are we talking about these things? Anyway, once they get back home, Ubah asks Aaron and Jessel what they think of Brynn and Sai. And Jessel's like, I wasn't there. And Aaron is like, well, Brynn thinks everything's okay. Like, everything's, good with them or whatever. And Ubah's like, well, Ubah tells them that after that conversation, Sai pulled her to the side or whatever and she left the conversation with the issue of how Brynn was so quick to say sorry and everything, but she hadn't even heard her side of things. And because of that, Sai she isn't completely over it. Is what Ubah was saying. We do get the clip from 4 hours ago when they had this conversation. And this also prompts Ubah to reveal why she's been so distant, why she's been so closed off and uncomfortable around the ladies, because it's like, every time, like, individually she's fine, but as a collective, as a total group, she's not, she doesn't feel safe with them. She doesn't feel safe being opening up to them, because it's like, before we know it, it's like, this pigeon carrier tells this pigeon tells this person, we're playing a game of telephone, things get all twisted up and miscommunicated, and she's just over it. And I do understand that. I definitely do. But I just also think that I think that the angle of which Ubah was taking it was kind of like, well, girl, like, that's unfortunately the unfortunate side of this type of show. And I feel like and she knows, it's like, Ubah was saying this, but I feel like the major catalyst of this, and I don't know if she said it in this scene, but um Aaron actually speaks on, was it Aaron? I want to say it was Aaron, was like, this all was started with Ubah because of last season when Brynn revealed Ubah's boo when she was trying to keep it, she was trying to keep it on the low and everything. And I feel like I fully believe that. I can see that being the catalyst behind all of why Ubah's so offended and why she feels so caught in the middle and everything. I totally get that, but it's like at the same time you're talking about people being pigeons and this and that. And it's just like I feel like that's the moment where it's like you need to be honest with yourself then and then pull Brynn to the side and be like, look, or you shouldn't be telling her to make up with Sai or anything like that. If you recognize her for who she is, then that's just who she is. And you're only going to drive yourself more mad trying to have certain people reconcile with her or, tiptoeing around the matter or whatever. So I think that's just how I feel about that. Yeah. Sai told Ubah after the conversation and this is, I want to say this is when Brynn walks in and she catches on to the fact that once she catches on to the fact that Sai still had an issue with her after the conversation. Did you guys feel like she was getting big in her chest or she was trying to have like an attitude or feel some type of way? I felt like she was. I felt like she felt some type of way in that moment because she was all talking about you guys should be thankful that I've been super cool on this, and she's letting fly and stuff like that. And it's like, Brynn, who are you? Brynn, we don't give a fuck about the whole carbon monoxide thing. You ain't rattling no cages. I don't see you as a force to be reckoned with. So let's calm down and act like we got some sense. And for Rebecca to speak on teenagers' sex, where they do that at. Yeah, I'm so confused. Why are we talking about this, girl? Just very odd character. Aaron's annoyed with it all. And we end with Brynn and Ubah having this like fake ass Sheree and Marlo moment with them like like when back in the day when Sheree and Marlo were all like like they kind of were going back and forth. I feel like to that effect, but it wasn't giving to that same level. It was just so weird. It was so weird. Last scene, y'all, so we can get up on out of here. Yes, Brynn had an attitude, which confirmed why Sai walked away in the prior conversation. Yeah, she did, because she doesn't want to be labeled as the one who's the starter, the shit starter pigeon. But that's exactly what you did in this situation and in multiple other situations, Brynn. Brynn got offended, like, if you don't go sit down before I throw some water on you. Oh, stop. Not throw the water on her hair, because, honey, I want her to get a new stylist. Nonetheless, it's the next morning. Ubah was like, was she doing like some red light therapy or whatever? I don't know. Aaron says they all need to be more direct with each other, and she asks Brynn, are you twisted or are you the twister? And I was like, this was probably the only time Brynn told the truth in this episode, y'all, was when she said, yeah, like a little bit of both. I was like, won't he do it? Because you danced around admitting anything else in this episode, but I'm glad that we are at least winding down with some truth. Thankfully. Then Ubah tells Sai how she told them that she couldn't open up to them because all they do is twist the things. But I do feel like she had said that, like, minus Sai though, like she feels like that way towards most of them, like as a group or whatever, I guess. But Sai, I feel like her in a really good place right now, and that's good. I'm glad to see that, at least. Sai also brings up how weird it was that Aaron brought up to them as soon as they walked through the door the whole Racquel driving situation, which is why I believe before, when Kevin, I think you said Aaron purposely relayed the Racquel car sick situation. She is definitely a pigeon. Yeah. And Sai clocked it right here, and I wonder if that's going to cause some issues for them going forward. I'm curious because Sai, remember, we're still coming off the cuff of like Sai, and she even in the text message that she showed the group, she even said that apology text message she sent to the group, I saw a little bit of the bottom saying that to Racquel and Rebecca, I hope I didn't ruin your evening, and I promise this group of amazing women are a lot of like. So I know she's still trying to be very cognizant of how she shows up to the newer ladies, and I wonder if she's going to have a chip on her shoulder and be really upset about it because Aaron tried to basically make them look like mean girls to Racquel. I wonder. But once everybody's up and ready to eat breakfast, they all go outside. We find out that Raquel's Porsche is not a turbo. Who cares? Because there was this like 2-year waiting period for them, and for some odd reason, this sparks Jenna. This sparks. I want to say it was Brynn to ask Jenna if she thinks that the Bentley is going to break down. It was like, you're trying to be funny. Like, I see what you're doing there. Ha ha, he. Not really funny though. And I feel like this was again Brynn trying to stir up some drama or whatever. And it's just like, although that situation, quote unquote, has been resolved or nobody has any hard feelings about it, it's just like, Brynn, why are you even bringing it up? If you know we're still trying to get to a better place with a lot of this stuff, like, why are you even bringing it up? Because it seems like you're bringing it up just to be messy. Like, fully just to be messy. Hey, AB, this season is giving nothing. I was bored to tears. I was bored too. And I'm actually glad I didn't even watch it on the last night on the initial airing. I watched the replay or whatever, and I'm glad that I didn't jump through hoops and hurdles to watch it last night, because I would have been pissed. Girlfriend actually thought Sai was going to let her drive her car, and that's what I was saying before. Like, what? Like, who said that? Like, what? Huh? And Racquel, I was liking you. And I'm not saying I dislike, like, I completely am writing her off because of that, but I am looking at you like you're a little delusional because, honey, like, let's be real here. And of course, Jenna brings up that she only travels with Aaron because she's going to get her an Uber home. And you saw how Brynn was like, oh, so Jenna does have money. Because I want to say somebody mentioned like all the diamonds on her wrist or whatever. And it just like, what are you playing at is all I was thinking. And I was just making sure Aaron could afford it. And this is when Ubah's like, see, this is why Sai doesn't want to come to breakfast. This is why she's not really feeling y'all, is because she's sick of being used as a pawn. And to support her statement, Ubah tells Racquel what was brought to her attention yesterday when they arrived about, the car situation or whatever, and how it was miscommunicated. And, there's a lot of miscommunication in this group, it seems. And Brynn bucks up her chest to be like, oh, yeah, a lot of stuff gets miscommunicated because people are using spokespeople, not talking for themselves. Where's Sai? Why can't Sai speak up for herself? Do. Like all the just all of this extraness. And Ubah tells her to stop. She tells her to STFU blatantly, just right on directly. And it's just like Brynn she gets so offended by things like this, and I'm just like she turned like, it's like on one hand she wants to be big Billy badass, and then when it's convenient for her she wants to be like a Karen, and I just don't like I don't like that. I don't like that. I have issues with people that try to switch up like that and play both sides. It's like, you're gonna stand in it. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, and if you can't handle my mouth, then maybe you shouldn't be starting shit with me. Just saying. Personally, none of these girls are giving Housewives. This is giving Real Girlfriends of NY. I think Bravo will learn their lesson with reboots. I still am an advocate for reboots when it's needed, but it needs to be the correct reboot. And I was happy that all the ladies came back this season, but now I'm feeling like it's not given what it's supposed to. And we still are in the early part of the season, but it's like we're 3 episodes in, and I feel like it's been giving the same energy. Even the premiere was like not that great in my opinion. And numbers don't lie, y'all. They really don't. So then this is where then I got confused, because Ubah then was still going, and then Sai comes out, and this is when Sai walks out, and actually, it was her that said it about confused asking, trusting, confused. Ubah's been standoffish with Brynn ever since she brought up her boo. It was Sai that said that, I guess, right? No. Anyway, who cares? And blah blah blah, pineapple. And I did like, though, when Ubah said, "You are a snake, nobody sees you coming," to Ubah. I was like, ooh, like I feel like there's no going back from this, unless Brynn just like does a total 180, which I don't see her doing. I don't feel like there's any going back from being labeled like a snake and being labeled like all these shit starters and pigeons and all these things. It's looking real bad for you in these streets, Brynn. I'm sorry. And it ends on them talking about like safe words and other stuff. I don't know. Like we've been saying, y'all, this episode didn't really give. The season hasn't been giving so far, and I hate that for them. I really do. Hopefully it picks up. I don't know. I'm not holding my breath on it, but nonetheless, this is as much as I got for this recap review. This was already way too long. But I did enjoy talking to you guys. Shout out to you guys, always keeping it so alive in the comment section. Love having you guys in here. If you're catching us on the playback, as I said earlier, drop me some comments. I'd love to talk to you guys about it. I always got time for y'all. Don't forget to like the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. If that's everything. Yeah, it's everything. Okay, bye.